There is a missing 5-year-old named Jonathan Boley out of Jasper, Alabama. Now, I'm going to get into some details of Jonathan, his description, and he's missing. And then there are some updates in this case and developments regarding the sheriff asking to stop a search because of some other incidents that have occurred. But let's get into talking about Jonathan. Jonathan Everett Boley is 5 years old. He was last seen at approximately 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, December 31st, in the 7000 block of Highway 195 in Jasper, Alabama. He was originally reported to be 4 years old, but the sheriff updated his age to 5. Now, Sheriff Nick Smith said that the boy was living with his father, who reported him missing at approximately 1 p.m. The mother had moved to Florida about 1 year ago, and the father is given 5 days each year for visitation. The child went missing during this visitation, according to the sheriff. Jonathan weighs 50 pounds, has blonde hair, blue eyes, and was wearing a yellow Mickey Mouse shirt, black pants, and Paw Patrol shoes, the authorities say. Now, you can see here Jonathan with his hair when it's up out of his face, but he also has long hair. So when it's down, it's going to be kind of curly, and you can tell that there is a difference. So please look at both photos. Now, Jonathan also may be with the black Labrador Retriever that is seen in the photo above as well. This dog is also missing and was with him at the time. Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith said that the search crews used a thermal imaging drone until 3 a.m. on Thursday, but they have detected nothing. The indications were that Jonathan and his brother were outside playing around the fence line with the dog. The brother said that the dog and his brother went across the fence line. Now, the brother in this case to Jonathan is 6 years old. Beyond the woods around the home, there's also a variety of ponds around where Jonathan went missing. So divers were being brought in today to search some ponds around the house. The sheriff is asking that anybody who has a doorbell camera or a game camera to check their video to see if the child is on it, or even the black lab that you can see here, who also has some white in the front. Now, what happened in this case is that on Wednesday, the sheriff was planning to execute a search warrant at the father's home, but they had to call it off because they found what they called, quote, unusual explosive devices on the property. Authorities released photos shown above of the explosives, and they've described them as pipe bombs that were found on the property. Initially, when authorities arrived to the house and went to clear the house to look for Jonathan, is when they discovered that there were explosives in the home as well, so they had to back out for safety reasons. They quoted, "The search of the house was suspended due to the explosives in the house. The FBI is handling that aspect. Their bomb squad is making sure that it is safe and secure so we can continue the search of the house." Sheriff Smith added that he doesn't know about the specifics of the explosive devices, but said, quote, "It's enough to concern them about the safety and well-being of people moving around in there." Now, the father is former military. His name is Jameson Kyle Boley. He's 40 years old. And due to this, he has been arrested and charged with unlawful manufacturing of a destructive device or bacteriological or biological weapon. The boys, as they only had a 5-day visitation with their father once a year, were due to be returned to their mother today, Thursday, January 1st. Now, the sheriff has also stated that they haven't gotten any indication that Jonathan is in the woods except for the statement from his brother. Once there were volunteer searches going on, they had to suspend the search around the home as well in the woods due to the explosives being found in the woods around the home. They said that they found at least 8 other devices. They're not sure if they're charged, but they are pending examination by the FBI explosives experts. It's being stated that, quote, neighbors said they've been hearing explosions for weeks now, the sheriff said. They didn't really know where it was coming from. The morning that the report came in, one of the neighbors reported that they heard an explosion at 4 a.m. And Smith said that, "I can't say that's any kind of connection to the missing child, but I will say this, we've been going on now well over 24 hours of looking for the child, and we have not gotten any indication of the child being in the woods." He also stated that the response from the community has been overwhelming and that everyone's concerned about this child, obviously. And he said, when you talk about the last 24 hours, the weather conditions for it to be a 5-year-old out there is very concerning. There are multiple law enforcement agencies on the scene that include the FBI, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, and its State Bureau of Investigation, as well as police officers from Summerton, Jasper, and Adamsville. Another comment regarding the dog is that a neighbor told authorities the dog usually shows up every day at the corn feeder on his game camera and said he has not seen the dog since December 26th. The sheriff says that they're trying to remain optimistic and they're still going to call it a search. Jonathan's mother, Angel Boley, moved to Florida about a year ago and is the guest services director at Dayspring Camp and Conference Center, which is an Episcopal retreat facility. She previously worked at Camp McDowell in Alabama. She's since traveled back to Alabama since Jonathan's disappearance. You can find that I have just posted a update from the sheriff in a press conference that he just recently held, so please check that out. I'm also going to include some other statements that the sheriff has made to press after this. Please, again, make sure that you are looking out for Jonathan Boley in the Jasper, Alabama area. Last seen wearing a yellow Mickey Mouse shirt, black pants, and Paw Patrol shoes. Last seen December 31st at approximately 11:30 a.m. in the 7,000 block of Highway 195 in Jasper. And again, do not search anywhere in the woods near that home. Everyone needs to avoid that area due to the explosives found. I will update if more information comes in on missing Jonathan. Please make sure that you are sharing this and tagging anybody that you know in that area of Alabama to keep an eye out and look at their cameras.